The 13th day of December. Miranda found the prince on the ski slope close to the royal palace. She stood impatiently at the bottom and watched as the prince skillfully wound his way down the hill, picking up speed as he went along. He came to a halt at her feet, spraying fresh snow over her boots. "Miranda, I was looking for you earlier," he said, taking off his goggles. "Yes, I know," she replied. "I got your royal summons." "Why don't you grab a pair of skis and come with me?" he said. "The weather is perfect and the snow couldn't be better." "Is that the only reason you call for me away from my work?" "Sure, you know what they say about all work and no play." "It's easy for you to say, Your Highness," Miranda snapped. "You don't have to get up at the crack of dawn every morning to go to work." She spun on her heel and started to walk away. "By the way, Miranda, I had the foresters deliver and decorate all the blue spruce." Miranda faced the prince once again. "Blue spruce? What are you talking about?" "The Christmas tree room. Remember? You were upset because I destroyed the blue spruce. Now you have an entire room full of blue spruce." "But, Your Highness, you've made a mistake. It was the red spruce that caught my eye," Miranda said with a trace of a smile. "No, it wasn't. I distinctly remember your favorite Christmas tree was the blue spruce." "His Highness should have his ears cleaned. I like red spruce, not blue spruce." Miranda turned again, but her boot caught on the tip of one of his skis and she fell into the snow. The prince reached down and pulled her to her feet. "Thank you," Miranda muttered, but she lost her footing again, this time falling towards the prince, knocking him to the ground. She landed on top of him. "I'm sorry, Your Highness," Miranda said, as they stood up again, looking around on the ground. "I lost my mittens." "I'll warm your hands, Miranda," the prince offered, taking his hands between his own and rubbing her fingers. "Close your eyes," he said. Miranda closed her eyes and enjoyed the massage as the heat returned to her fingers. The prince gently raised her hands to his lips and kissed her fingertips. Then the prince kissed Miranda on the lips. "How dare you!" Miranda shouted, opening her eyes. "How dare you kiss me!" Meanwhile, on the far side of the kingdom, the nieces in the dungeons of the troll castle were waiting patiently for Fanica to arrive with breakfast. "Now remember, Archibald, don't say a word to Fanica about Mama and Papa," Clipper warned. "She won't believe me anyways," Archibald replied. "If I told her there were 2 more nieces in here that she couldn't see, she'd say I was playing with an imaginary friends again." Suddenly, they heard Fanika's shuffling footsteps coming down the corridor. "She's coming," Pendulum whispered. "Now standing on either side of the door when she opens it. Rush out, don't bump into her." Tandra and Balto stood on opposite sides of the cell door. Fanica came around the door carrying a tray. "So, my little darling prisoner," she said as she approached the door, "I've brought you some cold soup." The nieces eagerly awaited her to open the door from the cell, but Fanica disappointed them. Instead, she slid the tray under the bars into the cell. "Well, don't just stand there. Take the tray," she ordered. Pendulum took the tray from Fanica, and without another word, she spun on her tail and left. When she was safely out of earshot, Tandra and Volta moved away from the door. "Our plan didn't work," Tandra said. "We'll have to wait until tomorrow and try again," Pendulum said with a sigh. "She only visits us once a day." "Let's hope she comes into the cell tomorrow," Volta said. "Until then, we may as well eat to keep up our spirits," Tandra said. "It's a good thing I packed lots of rice pudding." Later that evening, Miranda decided to pay a visit to Chloe. She was still upset with the prince. "The nerve of him kissing me," she thought, touching her fingers to her lips. The memory of the kiss began to make her anger fade. "The prince had never kissed me before," she whispered. The guards led her into Chloe's library. "Uncle Chloe, where are you?" She began looking around, but Chloe was nowhere to be found. "He must be in his laboratory." She crossed the room to the bookshelf. "Now let's see. Which book was it?" Miranda began to pull on the bindings of several books. After her 10th try, the secret panel slid open. "I'll just check in on Uncle Chloe, but I won't disturb him," she thought. She walked down the corridor and came to the top of the staircase, and looked down into the laboratory below. Chloe was sound asleep in his chair, close to the pedestal with his book of charms. Miranda smiled. "Just as I thought. He's up to his old tricks," she whispered. "I better not let him catch me here." She retraced her steps to the library, closing the secret panel behind her. Chloe awoke and rubbed his eyes, glancing at his stopwatch. "Now where was I?" he said, gathering his thoughts. "Yes, I was looking for a way to free the nieces from the trolls. I wish I had never have given the prince that magic compass. The nieces wouldn't be in all this trouble if it weren't for me. If I could just find the right spell." He went back to reading his book of charms. "Blade of fennel, hair of cat, ring of onion, wing of bat, juice of stone and tail of rat, a little this, a little that. No, 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 it won't do. I'm no wizard, just a fool. But of course. Juice of stone, wing of bat, blade of fennel, tail of rat, ring of onion and hair of cat, a little this, a little that. No, 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 it won't do. I'm no wizard, I'm just a fool. But of course." Mix it once in this hat, quill of feather, ounce of fat. Wipe my feet on the mat, a little this, a little that. No, 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 it won't do. I'm no wizard, just a fool. But of course, wipe my feet, ounce of fat, mix it once, I'm on the mat. Quill of feather, in this hat, a little this, a little that. No, 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 it won't do. Chloe closed the book of charms. I'll just have to read more tomorrow and hope the nieces can help themselves until I figure something out. He glanced at his watch again. It'll soon be time for bed, he said, and wearily climbed the stairs back to his library. Would Chloe be able to find the right spell to help the nieces? And would the nieces be able to trick Fanika tomorrow and slip out of the dungeon? Until tomorrow, good night.